Hey everyone, Michael Anthony here. Van Halen, Chickenfoot, Sammy in the Circle. But anyway, you're listening to the only podcast that is dedicated to breaking down the entire Van Halen catalog one track at a time. And the podcast will rock. Ow!
Hello, baby!
What's up, all you rockers, rockettes, and everything in between? You have stumbled into a new edition of And the Podcast Will Rock. We are the show that dives into the catalog and discography of one of the greatest rock and roll bands of all time, Van Halen, one track at a time. I am your co-host, Mark Kmeyer. Joining me, as always, Corey Morissette. Corey, does your throat hurt as much as I do? Because have you been screaming all weekend?
I have not been screaming all weekend, but I understand you have been. I've seen quite a lot of pictures on your social media. You were back on stage this weekend, weren't you?
I was part of a two tribute shows. One was a tribute to the emo rock scene of the early aughts, and is also a tribute to this upcoming Las Vegas show called When We Were Young, a big festival with all of those early aughts emo bands, as well as a few other modern day metal bands. We gave them all a tribute on Friday, and then just last night we did our Grunge Night 7. Some buddies of mine, the Ivans, put on these shows where we tribute the grunge era, and last night though we tributed post-grunge. So you got bands like Breaking Benjamin and Tantric and Stained, and even some other metal bands of that era, sort of post-grunge, however you want to think of that. And it went really super well, but I did a lot of screaming over the weekend. So if I sound a little rough tonight, it shows, and that's why.
Well, I got to tell you, you're going to be screaming more, my friend, because we have tonight quite possibly our two favorite all-time guests. They're certainly in the top five, that's for sure. Both agreed to come on together to finish off All-Star August here. So I'll leave it up to you, Mark, the master of the intro, to introduce our guests here this evening.
Coming in hot, we have the actual rock historian himself. That's right. He legitimizes our podcast and what we do here. The Sir Eric Sinich. What's up, Eric?
I love it. I've been knighted. I have been knighted. Mark, Corey, what's going on, guys? It's great to be back, man. This is an honor. This is an honor. I really shouldn't be here. I have to thank my man Sean from Sean Geek Podcast, who urged me, or urged you guys to have me on, right?
That's right, because although you did make it to the second round of voting, you lost horribly to our next guest. Mark, take it away.
That's right. Unfortunately, your knighthood just could not withstand the overwhelming power of popularity.
The queen.
The Van Halen queen herself, Kelsey Van Halen. Kelsey, coming in under the weather, over the weather, however you want to describe it. How you feeling?
I'm good, and I'm honored to be here alongside Eric. I didn't know I was that popular, so I was excited to come back, and then everyone was like, yeah, get the hell back on this podcast. So I was like, all right, say less, I'll be there. And here I am.
Kelsey, what was the song you had when you were on? I can't remember.
Judgment Day.
Oh, Judgment Day. I
Amazing.
love That's right.
Oh,
my
such
God,
a good
I
song.
love that song. Gets better with each passing year.
Oh, yeah.
Amen. Yep. Now, last week we had Man on a Mission. I'm curious, both Eric and Kelsey, how would you have voted if you had spun Man on a Mission? Let's start with Eric.
Yeah, I would still give it the thumbs up on that one, because the lyrics, as you guys so eloquently put it, the lyrics aren't so hot. You know, it's not Sammy's best, finest moment, but the music itself is just so good, and Eddie's Eddie. And so, yeah, the song, I would give it a thumbs up. I would say, I think you had said it, Corey, the music itself overrides the lack of lyrical strength on that one.
100%. Kelsey, how would you have voted?
I would say the same thing. I always tell people that Eddie sounds good regardless, so I'm always down. You know what I mean?
by the
There you
way, is Cabo Wabo, a song that I picked and I got correctly. And then
You did. You
Corey, you son
called
of a
your shot.
bitch. You picked a song, was a few episodes ago. Yours was
That's right.
Feel Your Love Tonight, wasn't it?
That's correct. Yeah.
Great song.
So yeah, so now it's up to Mark and Kelsey to call their shot here tonight, in
I've been
what they want to
trying.
hear and to spin it. Yeah, Mark, you've
been
had rotten
trying,
luck.
I
But
guess.
before we do that, maybe
know,
we should get
it's
into
true.
the Twitter poll from last week and go through some of the comments.
Oh boy.
That's true. We, as you guys know from last week, we did the song "Man on a Mission," and this one, the poll results, the rock and poll as we call it, a staggering result because only 57% won the Dreams Are Made Of category over the 42.6% the Dream Is Over, almost a 50-50 split. That's crazy. That's crazy to me because I don't know. We usually don't see that unless it's a very polarizing tune. But Corey, what are people saying about this song in the tweets?
Well, polarizing is right. The two of us voted what Dreams Are Made Of, and of course, Fast Freddy and Geek Boy, or whatever that other guy called him, they voted The Dream Is Over. But both you and I like the song. Like Eric said, the Eddie was fantastic, I thought, on that track. But some of the comments, let's go to Jonathan P. Todd. He says, I love this tweet. In this episode, Mark Corey and two guests with horrible luck discuss Sammy Hagar, who hair he conditions, singing about spatchcocking while on a mission to get fire crotch in Saskatchewan or Manitoba. Hilarity ensues and two guitar solos. That is what Dreams Are Made Of. I thought that summed up the episode pretty well.
And that is the tweet of the week. So congratulations.
Yeah. And then afterwards,
Hey,
he says,
flesh, blood, and bone, baby. Flesh, blood, and bone.
that's right. I love that site said splat play and bone, though. That was
I know.
a lot of people didn't like that we went off on that tangent, but that's maybe the most fun I've had on the show, was going off on that tangent. So
Wasn't that
no
Todd who
apologies from
came
me.
up with that, though? Wasn't he the one that thought it was...
Well, it's actually on the lyrics site. We go to we were
Oh, that's right,
going
that's
with
right.
A to Z lyrics, and it says
Yeah.
splay. I can't even remember what the fuck it said, but it was just we had no idea what the hell the phrase meant.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of went off on that. And I know some people were mad it derailed the show, but I had a fuck ton of fun talking about it.
Splat and bone, man.
Yeah, play splat and bone.
Yeah, that's going to be in my next tattoo.
We're getting a t-shirt made up. Kevin Brown from the Tom Petty Project is going to help us out with that. Jonathan continues, though. I actually love this riff in the funky opening, which I agree. I love both. And the lyrics are not as bad as claimed. I think if you did a podcast audit, there is as much crap from Corey about David Lee Roth lyrics as Sammy's. And I said, you're probably right. I do tend to favor Dave lyrics over Sammy's, especially when it comes to sexual innuendo. I think Dave is more the master of the metaphor than Sammy is, but I've probably given Dave some crap on his lyrics as well. And it was really more, I know I gave Sammy a lot of grief on that one, but it was more the misprint on the lyric site we were going with. And that
the
issue.
misprint was so bad. That was so
Sammy-
bad. And look,
Sammy's a pretty good
Dave-
lyricist. He has a couple
Yeah,
of missteps,
Dave-
though. This was a misstep.
it was lyrically, yes. And look, Dave may have the better metaphors, but they're not all great metaphors.
Oh, God, no.
Let's just
No,
be
he-
completely real. But it is what it is.
Listen, I'll say it. Sammy can sing the phone book. I don't give a shit what he's singing, man. That voice is too good. He can sing
Unbelievable,
about
yeah.
whatever he wants.
And still,
Yeah.
to this day, killing it with Sammy and the Circle.
Oh.
He still sings.
Yeah.
Josh says,
wait.
absolutely wretched lyrics. Heard better prose come out of a trailer park produced homebrewed porno flick in Bakersfield, and I ought to know.
Wow.
So Josh, not a fan.
I
of
ought
the
to know.
So Gene Hickey says, Ohio or California? I may have seen that one too.
Wretched lyrics.
Wretched lyrics. Gene goes on to say, while it's not top tier, I do still like the song, but I can't say that with 100% certainty because the only thing I'm absolutely sure of right now is that I will not be eating chicken wings anytime soon. Hashtag spatchcock. There you go,
Hashtag
Gene.
spatchcotch.
Yep. Thank you very much for that, Gene. Our buddies at the Deep Purple podcast said, while not a runaway what dreams are made of the worst I can think to say about it is it's a little generic and probably filler. Not enough for the dream to be over. Overall, a good track. And I think that's kind of where Mark and I kind of fell on the side of it as well.
Yeah.
Mark, you brought up a great point. I think it was in that episode about just listening to Alex do what he does during the solos. It's so cool. So
Yeah.
It is. And I've mentioned on the show before, I am more aware of Alex's presence now listening to Van Halen than I ever was in previous listens, shall we say, because I wasn't big on Alex as a drummer for a long time, just because I don't know, I just wasn't paying attention. I wasn't opening my mind to it. And the more we keep doing this show, the more he wins me over, and it's amazing.
their most popular song of all time, Jump. Listen to what he's doing during the solo, before the keyboard solo.
Maybe
And
we'll
one
get
Eddie's
to it.
doing his guitar solo.
One thing doing the show, you really appreciate what Alex does during Eddie solos. And actually, there was a tweet that the Tom Petty Project show pointed out to us. I think the question was, name a band whose sound is unrecognizable without the drummer. And he said Van Halen would be in that conversation with like Led Zeppelin and all the others.
Mhm.
And somebody piped up and said, Alex is totally replaceable. It's Eddie and Michael that does the sound. I'm like, you don't listen to Van Halen, because Alex is absolutely irreplaceable as a component of Van Halen.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
gonna say I highly disagree with that.
Yeah. Respectively, you could not be more wrong.
Respectively.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you don't have. Hey, if you don't believe us, just ask some of the drummers, like some of the best drummers in the world, who've talked about Alex, and they'll tell
Yeah.
you he's the real deal. He's the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I remember when I was setting up my drum kit and I had a drum professional come over and I was asking him about the intro to Hot for Teacher, and I played it for him. And he said, I don't understand how a human being can do that, because he's doing like
Yeah.
4 different things at the same time. It's
Yep.
unreal.
Yeah.
Let's go back to
Al,
the comments.
baby. Big Al.
Damn right. The Mighty Van Halen says, agreed. Filler could be better. Killer Groove, though. Absolutely. The Kershaw Geek and Fast Fred had to pipe in and say, they already know our opinion. What does everyone else have to say? And Jeff says, you redeemed yourself after the one of you voting down In a Simple Rhyme, which was Todd. We should point out, voted down In a Simple Rhyme. I'm not sure
Wow.
how that happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You guys mentioned that, didn't you?
I can't remember what his reasons were, but yeah, he did.
Not a fan of that track for
with you,
some
man.
Yeah,
You have to ask him next time you talk to him. Yeah, we're all
yeah.
when he
Ah.
gave the downvote, we're all like, what? Really? Like, Jesus.
It's like,
Just goes to show
Scold
you,
him.
man.
Call him and scold him.
Yeah, everybody listens to these songs differently. Different. They get a different feeling each time. Each person who listens to it.
Sure.
I love Cabo Wabo, and I remember that episode. Some were saying, no, thumbs down.
Yeah, I could believe that.
Ugh,
But
come on.
Opinions are like assholes, and some are more full of shit than others.
No,
Greg Zito
Heyo.
says, while I had to downvote this one, mostly because of the lyrics, I do want to recognize Alex, who shines on this track with John Bonham like drums. I guess that is why they brought Andy Johns on to produce, and that's exactly why they brought on Andy Johns to produce, right? Because Alex was a big John Bonham fan.
he was looking for that sound.
Good on you, Greg.
Airhead 3 says, fully own that some of my upvotes will be controversial. He says he's upvoted every single song we've done, which includes How Many Say I. He says he's happy to
Damn.
defend those too. Yeah. But he was not expecting this one to be one of them. Too much focus this episode on misheard and, yes, trite lyrics take away from great riffs, soaring vocals, a catchy chorus, and great play. So, yeah, we focused too much on the misheard lyrics. But again, we were just having some fun. We all agree the riff was great. The vocals were soaring. The chorus was catchy. We all gave it overall a thumbs up. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we go on tangents. It's fine. It happens.
we're having fun with some buds over some whiskeys. It was all good.
Exactly.
Thrilla Art says, great track. And it definitely says flesh, blood, and bones. Yes, we know. It was just A to Z lyrics had a little misprint on their lyrics. We're going to go to a different lyric site, I think, from now on. Hopefully get more accurate lyrics.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
one was it again that you found that? Which
Yeah,
site?
A to Z lyrics.
A to Z lyrics.
Yeah.
A to Z lyrics.
Yeah, okay.
Which they're kind of wishy-washy on that, but
Yeah.
straight up Google had the correct one. So
Yeah, flesh, blood, and bone. But definitely not as much fun as play Splat and Bone. But Thrilla Art says, if I'm not mistaken, is this not the second time you've connected Sammy to chickens on some kind of kinky way? And you're exactly right. On the Finish What You Started, we mentioned that Sammy was so backed up.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. That's right.
That is just the cries of a horny man in Finish What You Started right there.
But see, and there you go. And now we've just established the beautiful conspiracy of Sammy and Van Halen. It's all connected, all of it.
All
We'll find a-
tied together.
We'll find a way to connect that song with When It's Love, and it's really gonna blow your minds.
Maybe Love Walks In is about chickens and not aliens. Maybe we'll spin that tonight. I'm hoping so. Our good buddy Tom says, going in, I was leaning over, but the groove just caught my ear this morning. Next week, it might be different. So yeah, it's one of those tracks that, might toe the line, right? Depends on how it hits you. I know that little intro, did it for the longest time always used to bug me, but it's grown on me as I've been getting older and crankier. I really dig that intro to the song now. So
that reminds me of Eddie's statement about how the way he sounds, it's like falling down the stairs and landing on his feet. That's kind of that.
Yeah,
that's about right.
I love that, man.
It sounded like a mistake at the beginning. I was like, "Ooh, that's a choice," but then he just like, "No, I got it."
Yeah, well, the I got a part is ring with his guitar. He's like, "Hey, I'm here.
Yeah,
let's go."
Oh, I'm in now. And David says, "Wow, not a great response so far. I really like this track. It's got groove, and it does have groove. I'm kind of surprised that it was split as close down the middle as it was." Our good buddy Kevin Brown from the Tom Petty Project says, "Bang and riff, great rhythm section. Most half-assed lyrics on the album. Love it. Brilliant episode, and the Sean Keek podcast boys were fantastic again." And then he posted a picture of Sammy. Here, I'll show you guys if you can see it there. This play Splat and Bone graphic.
Put that on a shirt.
We're getting that on. Yeah, we're getting.
Hey,
that on
I'll wear that.
There we go. Yeah, go to the podcastwillrock.com. Look for the merch. It's on its way.
Yeah. And finally, our friend Scott says, "Not one of my favorites, but the band saved it as always. 100% agree. Don't let Sammy's lack of thought in lyrics derail another show." And I don't even apologize for derailing another show. I had a blast talking with the boys about the misheard lyrics. I'm sorry we didn't get more into the music or into a more intellectual breakdown, but we were just having a blast. I'm sorry, Scott, but that's the comments from Man on a Mission.
There
I loved it. I was laughing my ass off, man.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I know. Like we gotta have fun on these shows if we're gonna keep talking about it. I mean, talking about Van Halen is fun, but come on. Sometimes it's fun to just go on a riff about bullshit like
chickens,
misheard lyrics and chickens and things of that nature. But worth it, totally worth it. So, with that being said, Corey, I think it's time that I ask the important questions. And the important question is always this: what do we want to manifest on today's show? Eric, Kelsey, you are the guests. Eric, you have already mentioned that you have been manifesting something pretty hard. But before we get to you, Kelsey, you've just had a run-in with the medical field. You're not as sick as you thought. You're okay. You're here with us. Is there something very powerful, very, very power driven in the Van Halen sphere that you want to manifest in order to sort of give you that sort of upcharge that you need to keep on going?
Well, I was originally thinking I had a few in mind. The Dream Is Over, I would love to hear. That's a great song. The way that song opens is the first time I heard that song, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then that's a great song. Girl Gone Bad, I would love to hear. That song I could talk about for hours. Alex on that song, Eddie on that song, David, like all of them. And then you just mentioned Love Walks In. I absolutely love that song, and I could go on forever about that song as well. So, or Somebody Give Me a Doctor. That was like I think that was my second most played song this past year on my Spotify. So I'm always down for that one too.
Classic.
Well, that would be a sweet touch of irony if that's the case. So who knows? Who knows? Who you might get it.
If it is, Eddie's here.
Yes, there it is.
You guys got to check out. Maybe you've already heard it, but there was a guy who did a classic solo instrumental version of Love Walks In on his guitar, and I put it up on VHND.
Yes, yeah, it's fantastic.
Outstanding.
And, it really showcases the best of that song in that acoustic. I love that performance. It was great. Yeah,
he did it for his son. His son was moving on with his life. And the video shows all of the footage of him as a baby growing up, and he's playing that song over it, and it's really good. Yeah, check it out. VHND.com. Free plug.
There you go, guys. So with that being said, Eric, what is the mystery track that you are trying so hard to manifest that you're calling your shot once again? You're 1 for 1 so far.
All right. I'm going to make my manifestation proclamation. Humans being.
Oh, now you're talking. Now we're talking.
Fire it up, boys. File that. Let's do it. Spin that.
I really hope you get it so you can explain the lyrics to me, because I don't know
If
what
you
the hell
get it,
Sammy's
I
talking
will. I'll Venmo you $20 right now.
about.
Because
Well,
I
let
don't
me
know
tell you
what kind
something.
of betting odds we have,
Yeah.
but I need yours.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Although people doubt that they still feel this is all pre-planned. I'm telling you, man,
Oh,
it is real. The wheel is real.
The wheel is real. Yeah, we were gonna drop that bit, but I'm glad you brought it back up because there it is. Because if it happens to spin the way that you are manifesting it, then we'll have a lot of explaining to do. But let me tell you something. If we land on humans being, it'll be an explosive show because that is exactly the track that I want. That is absolutely
Okay.
the track that
Great
I have
song.
been waiting for.
great.
Um, ever since we started the show. That's the one. So, and then, but there is one other song that I want to try and manifest only because we've got such a packed house. Why not pack it a little bit further? But I won't mention what the song is unless we spin it. But Corey, how about you? What do you want to bring forth?
Well, first of all, I love all your selections. Humans Being, I love that song so much. And The Dream Is Over from For Unlawful is one of my favorite Van Halen deep cuts. That is such a great tune. And I'm glad I get to hear it every week, just in a little bit whenever people downvote a song. So we don't hear it that often because Van Halen is so good. But first, I want to talk about, we had a fan reach out today by the name of Brad Gould. He's a Van Halen fan. Talked about loving the show. So I asked him, hey, we're recording tonight. What would you want to hear? And he said, well, I'm going to see the Chili Peppers tonight. So he really wants to hear Atomic Punk. So that would be his choice, which I would be totally down with as well. But I'm thinking more Van Halen too. I'm kind of in the mood for some Dave tonight. I'm thinking Dance the Night Away.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
that's what I'm
yeah.
hoping for.
Banger.
You know what they were going for basically inspired by Go Your Own Way from Fleetwood Mac.
Right. And they surpassed it. I
Originally
think.
called Dance Lolita Dance.
Ooh,
There we go.
fun
So
fact.
Dropping some
both Eric and
knowledge.
I have called shots here. So it's
All
up
right.
to Mark and Kelsey here. Hopefully this wheel will be friendly to one of you. What do you say? I'll give it a shuffle here. And
Do
Mark,
it.
when you're ready, give it a call.
Shuffle it about and wait for Sammy to make his proclamation that we must do this now. Sammy, take it away.
Here we go.
Oh, we're gonna get Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do from Balance.
Tell me what love
I
can
actually
do.
love this song.
Oh, hell yes.
Eddie's guitar and Eddie's tone in this. Oh my god, I can't
Hell
wait.
yeah. All you
We're very
conspiracy
close.
theorists now, okay? There's no fix.
There's no fix. There it is. So that's very close. It's the other song I was manifesting does come from Balance, but it wasn't this
Right.
one. So, but we got close.
We're getting closer. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm not mad at this. Balance is really underrated to me.
Yep. Love the
Absolutely.
production. Bruce Fairbairn, the late great.
That's right. The late great.
Massive
Yeah, if you loved an album from the 80s, good chance that Bruce Fairbairn produced it, right? Like he did Bon Jovi, he did Aerosmith, all the big ones from the late 80s on.
I always say, imagine this production on OU 812.
It'd be phenomenal, right?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does
So,
anyone
Eric-
have any particular fond memories or sort of connections with this song?
I remember not too recently, but somewhat recently, I was dealing with a heartbreak and I put this song on. And just
Wow.
this, like, oh my God, just this, like I said, his tone and then just the, like just the, just goes so hard. I love this song.
Classic.
I wonder who is dumb enough to break Kelsey's heart.
Dumb enough to what?
To break Kelsey's heart.
Oh,
That's a great question.
oh, you certainly picked the right band.
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, man. This is an. I remember listening to this. I think it was at the fall of '95 that the single was released, and first impression was, "Wow, this is Ed doing something simple here, yet so effective." Just that, dun, 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 and we'll listen to that intro in just a bit. But powerful, and the lyrics were reflective of the time. They were looking for some darker lyrics because we were in that grunge era, and
Mhm.
Sammy came up with some lyrics that were inspired by Kurt Cobain's suicide.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but the video for this, isn't it kind of like a pseudo sequel to the Can't Stop Loving You video?
Yeah, I guess you could say. I wonder if it was. I don't know if it was directed by the same person, but you're right. It had a similar feel to it.
I just remember those two kind of tying in together. I'll have to look that up here while
Yeah.
the song is playing.
Yeah, yeah. Surprisingly, I mean, the album did. It was another #1 album, and it did really well. But it was seen as a drop from the last because "For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge" did so well.
Right.
And but it's hard. In retrospect, I mean, I would have realized that the guys weren't getting along. I mean, it just never picked up on it. And then you hear later that the instrumental on the album was intended to have lyrics, but Sammy didn't show. And you're just like, wow, because the album just kicks ass. And I remember being so excited the direction that they were going to go in, especially with Humans Being after that, which came in '96. It was like really looking forward to what they were going to do next.
Sometimes you find the inspiration in frustration. I guess that seems to be the consensus here.
Well, that was the idea. And Dave used to say that the tension brings out that kind of music. Fair Warning was the example. All of them they're not getting along. Ed and Dave create a frustration with Eddie, and here you got the same type of deal. I mean, Eddie was not happy with Sammy's lyrics, and there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Manager Ed Leffler passed away. They got new guy coming in, Ray Daniels, who managed Rush, and that didn't work out. And a lot of people blamed Ray Daniels for that, but looking back, he was saying that band was already on the way out by that time. But I tell you, off the one song off of Balance that I love, that Aftershock, I love.
That's a
Great
one.
song.
Mhm.
Yep.
A lot of great tracks on this one. Can't Stop Loving You, like the big single. That's one of my favorite Sammy tracks from Van Halen. I love that
Yeah.
song.
As soon as I heard that on the radio, I'm like, hit, another hit. It was,
Yeah.
And Not Enough was a song we did on the show here that pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of Not Enough. I don't mind. I mean, I'll listen to it, but not a. But it was not. I mean, Eddie was having fun with with what he was doing on that with the piano and all that. But not my favorite from the album. But
Lyrically, it's pretty simple. I think I made the comment, had it been released in the late 80s, probably would have been a #1 hit.
I remember you said
But-
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. So what do you say? Should we get into this one?
Let's do it.
All right. Here's Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do from Balance. It's at this point I wish we did a video podcast because Kelsey immediately puts her hand on her heart and leans back and just
Yeah.
you can tell
That-
how much she
Oh
loves
my
this band.
gosh, that tone. Woo!
Yep.
Wonderful.
It makes sense that this would be inspired by sort of the grunge era and the feeling of how what the energy was like after Cobain's passing. It's like the intro sounds like it might come from an album by one of those bands.
Yep.
Mhm. It's so simple but so good. It hits so hard.
The brilliance of Eddie, man, didn't need to play 100,000 notes. He knows what's up. He knows what a good song requires.
It's okay. I'll do what I want if I choose. I can take the fall as a choice. It's my destiny in my hands. Yeah, it's up to me. I can drive. I can shoot a gun in the streets. Stop me somewhere I want.
All right, we're getting dark with Score Me Some Heroin there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that change from the begin, like that first few bars into this, like into the next section where you can hear Alex come in. Oh my god, Woo!
Yep.
Really good.
Yeah, man, that's just got an aggression to it. It's like a snarl to that sound.
Just
But you're
hits.
Yeah, you're right, Kelsey. The drums, man, when they kick in, again, that's that production. I mean, Alex is just massive on this album. On that tour, he was great too, and he was hurting, man.
Oh, yeah.
He had that neck brace, and
Right.
Oh yeah.
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 But and we'll probably mention again, but Bruce Fairbairn, I thought, knocked it out of the park. Like, he knows how to produce Van Halen.
Mhm.
Even if some of the songs aren't up to snuff, the production of this album is top notch.
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Eric, you're going to scratch your head, and I thought you wanted me to stop the track.
Oh no, well, that's okay.
Hey, but those harmonies, wonderful.
Oh my God!
Unbelievable.
Enough about the harmonies. And don't get me started, Kelsey. Those
Yeah,
harmonies,
we
I'm telling you.
wax poetic pretty good
Oh, I
about
love
the
those
harmonies in this
harmonies,
band.
Oh my gosh.
Sammy wanted it to be, I want to show you what love can do. And that's just so, it just speaks to the division between the Sammy side and the Eddie side, because they didn't want that. And so, yeah, he changed it. It just,
Yeah.
but it works. It works, but it's just so not Sammy's such a positive guy. He's just,
Yeah.
you know, he's, yeah, he said he said, what was he said? If you ever want to see, he goes, I'm a happy guy, but if you ever want to see me pissed off, it's because of David Lee Roth. when he was on tour with Dave, he goes, me and him, like oil in water. He goes, you know, I'm usually a happy dude, but
Isn't
Like-
isn't Amsterdam on this album?
yeah,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know I mentioned this last time, but when I read Eddie's book, I guess it was the biography, The Eruption, he said how much Sammy was pissing him off with his lyrics during this this era.
oh yeah. Yeah, but
I
you know,
tell
he
you-
never cared about that stuff before, not until then. That became an issue for him. But like he always used to say, I don't know what the hell they're talking. You know, he's like with
Yeah.
Dave and with Sammy. He's like, I'll just play. So things were changing. You know, Eddie was just starting to take over. It was his band. He was starting to he was starting to become aware that, like, hey, you know, because even Sammy said up until then, Sammy was pretty much in charge. I mean, he was handling things just the way Dave was back in the day. But yeah, that was changing. It was Ed's band.
Mhm. Now, is it right to take the easy way, close your eyes? Was that the reference to Kurt Cobain?
I don't believe. I know the one. There's the one, I can't tell you what's right for you, and then I see the damage done. I heard the shotgun is definitely in reference to Kurt. But those might be. Yeah, those might be.
Again, just kind of surprising coming from a Sammy song that it's this dark, right? Like, we went from Man on a Mission to this, like polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
You see,
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
he's got range in his lyrics. He can go dark if he wants to.
Yeah, and listen to that voice, man. That just
Oh man,
Exactly.
that sandpaper kind of scratch to it. You know, it's like Rod
perfect.
Stewart on steroids.
And on the Man on a Mission comments, they talked about the soaring chorus. Listen to the soaring chorus of this one,
Mhm.
right? It's phenomenal.
listen to Al.
I love what he's doing there with the cymbals, right? Like he always knows how to accent
Woo!
Eddie's
Goosebumps.
solos perfectly.
Taking that ride, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah,
So good.
Is it right?
damn.
Ooh, God, what a solo. Whew.
Fucking love Eddie, man.
Me too.
Amazing. And to the guy who said Alex is irreplaceable in Van Halen, with all due respect, go fuck yourself. Because
Yeah, respectfully.
For real.
With all due respect, of course.
yeah.
You ever
Respectfully.
you ever seen a very cloudy day and there's just a little bit of cracks, and so when the sun's right behind it, you can kind of see like little sunbeams show through.
Yes.
This solo sounds like sunbeams coming through, like rock music from the gods just
Yes.
showering the land. That's what this solo sounded like. So if you ask me, hey, does this Eddie solo fit the song? Yeah, it does. Okay, like this, if the song could be just completely crappy for the rest of the time, this solo would entirely make up for it, because wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's
Oh my
Mark. You say
gosh.
that, it's interesting because I think about that with like the solo on Humans being a little different in that,
Right.
or the song overall in Humans being, it's almost like there's a thing about Van Halen where you get that dark side like you have here, and this song straight through is dark, but then you have like Humans being where you have that chorus come in, shine on, shine on. It's like a fucking rainbow bursting through the clouds, you know.
Right.
Oh
And
man,
that-
I get
And that
the-
has nothing to do with the fact that the song is featured on a song about natural disasters.
Right, right.
or
It's not- I know, yeah,
a movie
yeah,
about natural
yeah.
disasters. But it helps.
But here you're right though. It's just like his solos are songs within themselves.
Yeah.
You could just
yeah.
nothing just gives me a charge like the sound of Eddie on guitar and his solos.
Amazing.
Nothing. All right, where are we at now? He's getting back into the
Take the easy way, I don't know. I get down on my knees and pray. Now I'm saved by a higher voice. Giving up, giving up, giving up my choice. If I'm wrong, hey, then I'll pay for it. If I'm right, yeah, you're gonna deal with it. 'Cause I'll try. Yeah, I'll try for it. I'll try, even die for it.
All right. Corey, right there. Now I want to listen closer to this part because you can hear it sounds like we're hearing Mike and Ed in the background, but it's very low.
Right.
But I think it's just Mike and Ed in the background here. But it's low in the mix.
It is, yeah. I'll back it up a little bit and we'll
Yeah,
listen to
yeah.
that again. Yeah.
Yep.
It definitely low in the mix, right? And that's kind of surprising for
But
Mhm.
it's surprisingly low. But is it Ed and Ed and Mike, or is it just Mike? It's hard to pick up on it. But there's something in there. It sounds like there's vocals there, but it's buried. pretty
it is
low.
buried. And is it maybe because Sammy is killing it? Like this
Yeah.
is one of his stronger vocal efforts in
and-
Van Halen, I think.
and his vocals on this album as a whole, you listen to, there's a little bit of, Mark, you can speak to this more as a singer, but there's a little more of like, there's a little reverb, like if you definitely with 5150, a little bit like an echo reverb type thing, but this is like a raw, dry sound to it, like in a good way, you know. There's
Yeah.
not, like
It's not
sometimes
as
it's a little-
spacey. It's not
as spacey. Yeah, almost like in a like on some of the vocals you could put like that little effect on it. It's like almost like in a small metal room type of sound, or you can have a nice big, grand big room sound. But this is just like stripped down in a way.
Yeah, he's not. We're not given the sense that he's singing in like a grand hall with incredible acoustics. It's more like it's very condensed. It's very
Condensed,
but
yeah,
like,
not overproduced.
yeah,
Mhm.
not overproduced. Condensed in a good way. Like he's in the moment, and he's not trying to overshadow the instrumentalization or anything like that. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like the amount of times I've screamed this in my car, it gives that vibe off that he's
Oh,
literally
yeah.
just like very like he's just screaming straight from his or like just shouting straight from his chest. And I'm like, which like I was gonna say how wonderful that part is because you can just feel it. Like you can feel like with how hard the drums and how hard Eddie's hitting, and just it's like dun dun dun. Like
Oh,
it's just
I mean,
ooh. And that's
the-
what I'm saying. Like I love screaming that in my car, and I feel like that it gives off that kind of vibe that he's
Hell
just
yeah.
like
They're super
frustrated
tight,
and screaming.
super
Yeah.
tight by that point. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're feeling something from Sammy there. The frustration that he had with the band at that point. I think you're feeling it too. But it's his voice is so powerful. It's like effortless when he gets, especially if he gets up to a high note.
Mhm.
It's like it comes with such ease to him. Like he even says, he goes, I don't do anything, you know, I don't drink any magic potions or this, that, and the other. Although lately he said he's been doing a few things here and there just to try to keep it strong because he's 70. What is he going to be? 75 in a
Yeah.
couple months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like this effortless way in which he sings these notes. So yeah.
Well, I love the
Yeah.
comment about vocals being overproduced because that's something Bruce Fairbairn I think does really well is how he does vocals. You look at some of his other albums like Slippery When Wet or New Jersey from Bon Jovi, probably the best John Bon Jovi's ever sounded. Pump from Aerosmith. Steven Tyler sounds amazing on that album.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
something like The Razor's Edge from AC/DC. You know, that's probably the best Brian Johnson's ever sounded. Like he really knows how to produce vocals.
Mhm.
Yeah. I forgot he did the Razor's Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a great album.
Even some of the early like Loverboy stuff. You know, obviously he's a Canadian, right? He did like, you know, a couple of Loverboy albums in the early 80s. But Mike
Yeah.
Reno, another great vocalist, but he really gets the most out of those vocal tracks. And he's doing it here with Sammy. Just it sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
So somebody came in on that. Oh, I heard the shotgun too.
Mhm. Yeah.
Kind of sounded like Eddie, but I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
I was gonna say it didn't sound like Michael, so I'm not sure.
Can
who
you
that
play it
was.
back again? Let's
Sure,
listen
I'll
to that
back
again.
up for you here. Yeah.
Let's listen to this one more time. Yeah, or is it Sammy doubling up on his vocals? Is he doing his own harmonies there?
Did he do
Could
a lot
be.
of that?
No. That it's which is interesting. Dave does a lot of that now, and he does a
Right.
really good job with that, especially on these new songs on the California sessions.
Mhm.
But Sammy never would do that. That was what Ozzy always did his own.
Yeah,
harmonies.
Ozzy always did
Always.
that.
Steven Tyler's another one who does his own harmonies, right? But
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well, I know on Humans Being, Eddie did the backing vocals. So,
Yeah, you can hear humans being.
oh yeah, but you
Yeah,
know
you
it's
hear 'em
Eddie.
do
You can tell it's Eddie.
Yeah, Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's Oh.
Sorry, Eric. Were you cueing me to stop?
No, I'm sorry. My hand I'm just listening to Sammy do the high note. I love it.
He's vibing.
I gotta get better at reading people because everybody does a little something.
I
and I
know,
think,
yeah,
they want
yeah.
to say something. Yeah.
I'm
We'll
almost
just
like
have to just, do
hallelujah.
that.
Yeah, I got the hands. Hallelujah, it's Sammy. Sorry. Yeah, I'm throwing you off, Corey. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No
that
worries.
was funny.
I'm just having-
Wasn't Greg doing that? Stop. I think Greg went up. Stop right there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, here comes a really cool part. Woo! And then Alex. Right here. Oh, I love that shit.
Oh, that's
Kill
phenomenal.
I'm
switch,
sorry,
yeah.
Corey. Can you play that part just one more time? Because I love that. You can hear Alex on the bass pedal.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Oh man. That's so cool.
Don't tell me what love can do from Balance, a really underrated album. And I go back to a comment we had last week where if you don't like this, you might as well just turn in your Van Halen fan club card because
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to me that there's a lot of tracks that I would feel like you need if you downvoted this one, just turn in your card, turn in your Van Halen card because
Yeah, well, the
like, I don't know
Sammy
what you're doing.
haters, you know, the diehard Dave fans, Dave only fans, they'll shit
That's
all
crazy.
over it, I'm sure.
They're- and the diehard
That's-
Dave fans are missing so much great music.
I know.
More for us.
Yeah.
I used to say that, man.
Ugh.
Yeah, I used to. I mean, there was a time there where I was listening to Van Halen, Dave solo, Sammy solo. I mean, it was like all of it was good to me. But
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, have you guys? Oh, there you
Dave
go,
loved
Dave.
it. Dave
There
loved
Ugh.
There you go. Yeah. And Corey,
it. I didn't even
and Corey,
play that. That was Kelsey.
By the way, Corey, thank you for wearing your assless chaps today. I really appreciate.
Oh, it's
that.
my pleasure. My pleasure.
Have you guys heard the Japanese version of this album that has crossing over?
Yes, we did Crossing Over.
You did
Actually, on
Crossing
one of the
yeah,
Over.
shows.
That's
we
right.
cover crossing over. Yeah.
What a great song.
Unreal. Yeah, you
That
hear
was a good
you hear
song.
Alex's drums from 84 in one channel, Alex's
Yeah.
drums from 95 in the other channel.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
love that song.
yeah, that was added on. That was after their manager Ed Leffler died in 93.
Right.
That song was for him. But you know what's crazy is that Bruce Fairbairn was 49 when he died.
I know.
I mean, he was a young guy. He died suddenly too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his
Unknown causes.
discography is amazing. Like starting with say Slippery When Wet, Permanent Vacation, New Jersey, Pump, AC/DC, The Razor's Edge, Poison, Flesh and Blood, AC/DC Live,
Ooh.
Get a Grip from Aerosmith.
Ooh.
Yep. Jackal, Push Come to Shove, which our friends at Pot of Thunder
Yeah.
just did a Jackal song, is phenomenal. Talking about vocals, In Excess, Elegantly Wasted. Like that's a great album from In Excess, a largely forgotten band
Yeah.
by
Is he on that?
1997. Yeah, he
Fairbairn
did that.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he did Psycho Circus from Kiss. His last album,
Wow.
Oh,
Was,
that's right.
his last album was Yes,
In
the latter.
sky.
Yeah.
Fun fact: that is the only Kiss album I have ever owned.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I just because I know. Well, like my dad was a huge Kiss fan, but like all of his albums were vinyl, and he got rid of his vinyl a long time ago, so I never got to experience them that way. But I never just actively bought a Kiss album until Psycho Circus. I don't ask me why. I think it was just because at the time it was new, and I was like, Kiss has a new album, cool.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna buy that album. And I enjoy Psycho Circus for what it is. It's
I love
not the
Psycho
greatest.
Circus.
Yeah.
It's not the
Into
greatest Kiss
Void,
album, but it's
Ace.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Into the Void, Feel from Within. I
Yep.
mean, just we could go on and on, but
That-
yeah. Fun fact.
That is a good album.
Hello.
Yeah.
Here I am. When I
Here
used
you
to-
are,
And they only
Paul
played together.
Stanley from Kiss.
When I used to
James
sing,
Simmons from
when I used to
Kiss.
sing, I sang Psycho Circus. It was like one
Nice.
of the first Kiss
Nice.
songs that I sang, and it was really fun. She was like, "Are you saying hello to me?"
Maybe we can. Maybe one of these
Kelsey's
tribute nights I
doggy is
do,
in
we'll
the,
do a Kiss tribute. And
Oh,
we
I
can
would.
do that.
Oh, Kiss! Woo!
That'd be
I
great.
love Kiss.
Oh my God, huge Kiss fan.
Mark?
Yeah, those early albums during the original 4 era.
Oh, they're so
Mhm.
great. But Mark, if you're looking for a great Kiss album, try Revenge.
Oh my
Oh, sure.
God!
That is
Take
my
It
all-time
Off.
favorite.
Oh, Take It Off is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
like,
Great song.
ever.
Unholy. Unholy is like my favorite Kiss track of all time.
What's the other one? Oh,
I Just Wanna?
I just wanna. That's what it is.
I Just Want is a great
I
one.
don't
yeah.
wanna romance that one.
Yeah.
Oh, such a
Yep.
banger.
Yeah,
Tell you what, I was in Las Vegas a few
And
years ago when
Domino.
Domino.
Can't forget
yeah.
Domino, yeah. When I
Banger.
was in Vegas, I went to Kiss Mini Golf, and I went and I requested
Nice.
"Rise to It" from Hot in the Shade, and the guy
Oh.
almost hugged me because he's like, "All we ever get is rock and roll all night," and I was made for loving you, baby. Are the only 2 songs anybody ever requests. And I said, "Play something from Hot in the Shade." He's like, "Oh
Yeah.
my God, an actual Kiss fan came to play mini golf."
Oh my God, I would have been like, play
That's
something off
awesome.
Unmasked.
Yeah, Unmasked. I love it.
I
What an
love
underrated
Unmasked.
album.
Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite. Shit, my old car was named Shandy.
Oh man, Kelsey's a true rocker.
I tell you,
Rocker,
yeah.
I told you, I'm no poser.
Anton Fig is doing drums on that album, which was
that's right.
the David Letterman band drummer. If I can
He
get
did a
that out.
lot
Yeah.
of Kiss stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
He did. I think I don't know. They never offered him the job to take over for Peter. I think it was kind of understood like he wasn't interested in it, but that would have been cool if he did. I remember thinking, man, Peter sounds great on Unmasked. Like the,
Yeah,
in the
same with
internet era,
Creatures
you
of
were-
the Night.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
Ace sounds really good on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and going back to
Vinnie
Psycho
Vincent, by
Circus,
the
they
way,
played
is-
together on one song, right?
Oh yeah.
Who are we talking on Psycho Circus? Who
On
played together?
Psycho Circus, the 4 of them only played
Oh.
together on one track.
Right. I think maybe wasn't he Into the Void and
I think it's just Into the Void.
Guys, we should do a
Okay.
Kiss podcast.
Oh,
Probably.
I could have.
If
sworn
only
it was
that.
Psycho
Yeah, it's like that's
kinda been
amazing that
done.
it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. It does. Oh, it does exist. That's right.
There
Shout
are a
out
few
to
Kiss
Pot of Thunder.
podcasts out there. Pot of Thunder.
Pot of
Yeah.
Thunder's
God of
amazing.
Thunder, love
That's
that.
all- that's all.
Um,
Shout it out, Loudcast is a good one too.
Yep, shout out Loudcast,
Yeah.
3 Sides of the Coin.
Yep.
I'm all
But-
Three
over
sides
that.
of the coin.
Yeah, you ever hear? You ever watch 3 Sides of the Coin?
No, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Hell
What a
yeah.
great song though. 2 sides of the
Yeah.
coin.
Ace.
But
Now,
as much as we love,
Gross.
as much as we love,
We gotta
Kiss,
get
though,
back on
it's
topic
that-
here.
We gotta.
We went
Pot
off
of
on a
Thunder-
tangent. Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Oh,
go on
here
a
come the
tangent,
haters.
Which I warned
Here
you. I know. Here they come. But
you guys had a great
we warned
episode
you.
until you start talking about fucking
Yeah.
Kiss.
Very well then. We just covered a great Van Halen track, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Don't tell me what I want. But the question is, and I have to ask, I'll start with you, Eric. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Would you say that this song is what dreams are made of, or is the dream over and I shouldn't tell you about it?
Do you have to ask? I mean, my God.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
That's the-
Yeah, absolutely, man. There isn't. I can't think of anything that I can even criticize on this track. Really, I mean, it's kind of bittersweet because it was just like, let's go. What's next? Waiting for
Yeah.
the next album would have been, usually on Van Halen time in the 90s, it probably would have, we would have gotten. Well, we did get one in '98, Van Halen 3, but
Yeah.
it would have been.
But I tell you what, and Eric, you might be able to shed some light on this. We might get another Sammy and Eddie track.
Might get another what?
Sammy Eddie collaboration. I read an article on the Van Halen news desk.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Sammy says that Eddie came to him in a dream to write a new song.
Love.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Eddie would do.
Yeah. Yeah. He came to him and he said there was a bunch of people in the room and Eddie came walking in with his guitar and he started playing a lick for him. And next morning, Sammy wakes up and writes lyrics about the whole experience, finishes the song, and he said they didn't do it in time to put it on their upcoming album, which I think Sammy's new album comes out next week with The Circle. Crazy
Yeah,
Times.
pretty quick.
But he said, and his quote was, "I will probably donate the proceeds from the single to charity," and I really hope he does, because if he doesn't,
Yeah, awesome.
he's gonna hear it, because then he's he's just doing. I mean, you could read the comments on VHND, Corey, if you want, but yeah, he's just doing it for the attention or for the money, and I believe what he experienced is what he experienced, and
100%. Yeah.
he we'll see. I'm interested in hearing what the song is called. Thank You.
Yes.
Oh, nice. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you, Eric, for your thoughts on that. To no one's surprise, that is what dreams are made of for him. But Kelsey, do you agree that "Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do" is what dreams are made of, or should we all just shut our mouths because the dream is over for you?
You know what? Actually, I'm definitely gonna go play this in my car, and after we're done,
Right? I know that's what it does. Then you
I
end up
can't
playing the whole-
remember. I can't remember the first time I heard this song, but it was like very early in my Van Halen obsession, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is unlike anything I've heard from them, and so yeah, no, this song has a very special place in my heart.
When did you become a fan?
So actually, funny story. The first time I remember hearing Van Halen, my mom, we were listening to 94.7 FM and Panama came on, and my mom turned it all the way up, and she was like, "I fucking love this song."
Nice.
And so that was the first time that I really that I recognized Van Halen. But when I really started getting into them was early 2018. So I
That's
was
so cool, man.
I was 17. I was 17 going on 18.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hope that there are more fans that this band gets as the years go on.
If I have anything to do with it,
Hell yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
There you go. All the young people, promote the show. Get the word out in case you weren't aware of, or if your friends are not aware of Van Halen, you might
Yeah.
be pleasantly
Oh,
surprised.
all my friends are.
Well, of course they are. You're doing it right. And my friend Corey, what say you, sir? Is this song what dreams are made of, or for you, is it just did Eddie just not come to you in a dream because the dream is over?
I'm just kidding. I love this song. I was so happy when we spun this. I know we all listed great songs, and nobody's even thinking balance. But when this came up, I'm like, this is such a great mirror image to last week. I like Man on a Mission, but lyrically, it's not Sammy's strongest. Vocally, he's okay on that. He is killing it on this song, lyrically and vocally. 100%. This is Sammy Hagar at his absolute best, and the band super strong. I love both solos we got out of this. I love the mix. I'm a huge fan of Bruce Fairbairn. I thought he got the best out of this band, a band in turmoil at this point. They were so at odds recording balance, and they produce such great music. And this is such an underrated album for me. This is absolutely what dreams are made of. This may be top 5 Sammy Hagar, Van Hagar, if you will, for me. I love this song.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on mute. Eddie Trunk loves this song.
Yeah.
He's talked about this song. He loves this song. All right, Mark, you are up. What do you say, sir?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of extra feedback other than what's been provided. I'll just say, yeah, I think this is absolutely an underappreciated song from an underrated album. I did not know the backstory of the content of the song, which kind of hits really, really hard and makes me appreciate it all the more. And look, you can hate on Sammy all you want out there, all you naysayers of Sammy, and you can talk about his lyrics all you want. But look, at least in these lyrics, he is making a point to tell you there's a specific subject in mind, and he's letting you know what that subject is, and he's not shy to let you know what it's about. And I don't know, I appreciate that there was a little bit, because it's inspired by what some may call the death of the grunge era. There's a little nod to the grunge era in the intro. I love that. And what more could I possibly say about that solo? I mean, for a lot of Van Halen songs, that solo can just make the song that's good seem just absolutely great. I think this is one of those. I think this was a good song, just absolutely torpedo to greatness because of that solo, among many things. And also, kudos to Alex Van Halen. I get more and more impressed every single week that we do this show, and I'm like paying so much more attention to what he's doing. It's so great. I really enjoy this song, so I hope you, the audience, enjoyed it too. And if you didn't, then I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. If you didn't, fuck it. No. I found an interesting quote though. Chuck Klosterman of Vulture.com ranked this song the 67th best Van Halen song, calling it the best song off the worst Van Halen album that isn't Van Halen 3.
Wow.
Damn.
I'll throw that. Yeah.
It's like, it's shade, but it's also somewhat complimentary, but so it's like back shade, which I don't know how I feel about that comment.
Yeah. Do you remember? I'm trying to remember what was the number. What did he put for the very last? I think he put "Why Can't This Be Love" as the worst Van Halen song.
Did he?
I think he did.
That's the worst Van Halen song in his list.
I believe. Hold on, I got it right here.
Yeah,
right in front of me.
Because that's
Hold on.
insane.
Yeah, I think he knew that was going to get some people pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Eruption at 1. Yeah, clickbait. I mean, he knew it was going to. I mean, Chuck Klosterman's a great writer, like a very, very good writer. Really knows his stuff, and but he'll tell it like it is, and he's not afraid to ruffle some feathers. Where the hell is I'm looking? Oh yeah, why can't this be love? 131. And he writes, just so we're clear, this is not the single worst Van Halen song to listen to. I won't jump out of a moving vehicle if it comes on the radio. But Why Can't This Be Love was the first single released off 5150, and that was the worst decision the band ever made. If they'd opened with Get Up or Summer Nights, the collective view of post-Roth VH would likely be quite different. Introducing the Hagar era with a cold mid-tempo keyboard-based love song installed the belief that Van Halen was moving away from high-octane Fiesta rock and toward responsible AOR maturity.
I agree with that.
That's an interesting take. Okay, I'm glad he elaborated on that, but I don't know if I 100% agree with it personally, but I understand where he's coming from making that statement. So. It is what it is. I guess.
Yeah, he's putting it there for a reason. He's basically saying that, it basically set up the next era, which was not going to be what we were listening to from the Dave era. Dave era had attitude,
He's not judging the song on its merits. Then he's judging on it the fact that it was the first single, which maybe isn't fair.
Yeah.
Right.
He had Tattoo at 130.
Really?
How many say I? 127.
Oh wow! And see, like, Why Can't This Be Love isn't even the worst song on that album. Inside is on the album, for crying out loud.
Yeah. So I mean, having listened to and analyzing How Many Say I can't in good conscience recall any, or I can't give any other Van Halen song the worst song, the title.
If this is the same list I'm thinking of, then he ranked Black and Blue pretty low, and that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, let's see. Black and Blue. Yeah, I think 97 this is the one. He put it at 97.
I think he was like, it inspired a movie, or it inspired something because I don't remember the story, but it's like some crazy story.
What inspired Sammy to write the lyrics, you mean? Or
no, it was this is going to be wild to just claim, but I'm pretty sure I read this, that there was like a teacher student relationship, and it inspired, like, the teacher used that song to make the student kill her husband.
Yeah, here's what Klosterman writes. In 1990, New Hampshire high school employee Pamela Smart used this plotting OU812 track to sexually seduce a 15-year-old male student, later convincing the teen to murder her husband. That sentence is not a music review, but it tells you almost everything you need to know. I love Black and Blue too. That's a good.
I love that song, but that is that is wild. That's crazy.
I'm going to defend the music of How Many Say I. Can't defend Eddie's vocals. The music is beautiful.
Oh.
No,
Well, you're a very sweet man, Eric.
I think the music is.
We love you,
beautiful.
Eddie.
So there you go. And I'm glad Eddie did it because hey, you know what?
It's
You
certainly
earned the
not the
right.
worst. Yeah, it's certainly not the worst piece of music I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
That's don't get it twisted. But just as far as the Van Halen catalog goes, it is. Ooh, that one's way down there.
It's been so
Yeah.
long
Anyway.
since I've even listened to that song. I'm like scared to listen to it again.
Yeah.
Oh, then if you're scared to listen to it, then definitely don't listen to our episode where we break that one down because oh boy, it is.
Well, I remember seeing that one and I was like,
And I thought I skirted that one like, oh, thank God, because I was on the next episode, and then you
That's right.
asked me, what do you think of it? I was like, yeah.
But
Yes, we got-
anywho, that's the show. That's how we do it, and then we did it with our all-star August guests, Eric Sinich, Kelsey Van Halen. So on behalf of Corey and myself, thank you both for being on the show yet again. You're returned. You are returners. So thank you very much. It's always a pleasure having you.
Guys, thanks so much for having me. Kelsey, great to meet you.
yeah, it was good to meet you too. I'm when I can't remember who suggested it, but when he suggested it, I was like, hell yeah, I will totally join. This will be awesome.
Yeah, this was a blast, guys.
It's
Let
great.
let the people know where you guys are on the social media if you want them to follow and what's going on in your world.
Kelsey, you go. You're up first.
Well, pretty much all my social media is Kelsey Van Halen. So so wherever y'all want to find me, that's where I'll be at.
Cool. VHND.com. Of course, that's the place to go to stay up on what's going on in the world of Van Halen. Of course, with Sammy and Mike with the Circle, and who knows what's next for Dave. And at VanHalenStore.com, of course. Get your merchandise there. And bookedonrock.com. Check out my podcast if you get a chance. Corey is a faithful listener. Thank you, sir. Bookedonrock.com. Just put up this week, there's an episode on author Lisa Torum, who wrote a book on Billy Joel. Fun episode. And God, I'm up to 80 episodes now, Corey. Can you believe that?
That's amazing. We've only done
Jeez,
42
yeah.
of these, and you're up to 80. That's great.
Cranking them out. So having a lot of fun with it and got some good stuff coming up. We got an author of a book on Cheap Trick, Brian J. Cramp. But yeah, check it out, bookedonrock.com. It's all right there. So give it a listen. We got like 3 or 4 different Van Halen related interviews on there.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Right on.
Legitimately one of my favorite podcasts. I know you just did one with on an author who did a book on Phil Collins in the 80s that I've been obsessed with. I love that show. And you can find me following Kelsey on Twitter, living a much better life than I'm leading. She's a must follow on Twitter. We all love Kelsey, and hopefully we can get her back on the show talking Van Halen. It's always a great time. And
Good. I'm
you can
glad you
find
guys
me-
enjoy my Twitter.
Oh, 100%.
I gotta get on that too.
There you go. Corey, where can they find you? Where can they find the show?
They can find me listening to Booked on Rock. I love that show. They can find me listening to the Sean Geek podcast, who suggested this little matchup with Eric and Kelsey, and it panned out. It was one of our best shows, I think. And they can find me doing too many fucking podcasts. I do one on on movie music, Backtracks Theme Music, where we're talking about everything movie music. I do one on Aerosmith called Backtracks Aerosmith Revisited, where we're trying to compile the ultimate Aerosmith mixtape. And you can find me, hanging out with Mark every once in a while, talking Van Halen. www.podcastwillrock, where you can catch up on old episodes. You can get some merch that I'm sporting here tonight. And at Podcast Will Rock on Twitter. Let us know what you think of the show. And, we're going to be getting back to getting some Van Halen fans back on the show starting in the fall here. So if you'd like to be on the show, shoot us a tweet and let us know.
Absolutely. And you can find me at Mark the Bat on Twitter and Instagram, usually tweeting about nonsense, but every once in a while I tweet about something awesome. Be on the lookout this coming Labor Day weekend. If you're in the States, Dragon Con is among us, and I'll be there. So maybe I'll dress up. Maybe I'll be hanging with some celebs. You never know, but be on the lookout on my social medias for that. I might even run into a rock star or two. The dreams can come true if you just believe. And we believe in the power of dreams and Van Halen dreams specifically. That is what dreams are made of. That is why we do the show. We are, and the podcast will rock, and we will rock you later.
Ah!